to shout something.
No, just, there we are.
Obscenities.
Once upon a time, in a gumdrop house on Lollipop Lane, there lived a little podcast called Ready Game Fire. Now, the listenership of this podcast wasn't too big, it wasn't too small, it was just right. But in the happy house of Ready Game Fire, there was much disagreement. Papa Bear believed that story in game was not as the be-all and end-all, and whereas Mommy Bear valued video game narrative above all other. And Baby Bear and Goldilocks were also there. Today we discuss narrative in games. It's Ready Game Fire episode 10. That's right, it's 10 at 10. It's just gone past 20 past 10. We are recording this for you at 10 in the morning. Why? I don't know. Mike said it was Mike's idea.
It's a brilliant idea. We're going to be fresh-minded and beautiful.
Yeah.
In the face and mind.
We're not though, are we?
I'm kind of beautiful.
School children are supposed to be more alert. That's why they have those exams in the morning. But it never worked for me, and I'm not feeling fresh or happy in any way. I am your Papa Bear, Chris Fox, and with me is he breathes PS3, he sleeps PS3, but he eats mainly cheese. It's Mama Bear, Mike Power.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning.
Hi, Mike. God, you are fresh in the morning, aren't you?
Fresh as a daisy.
He shook the world last episode with World Wide Webwards, but today you've got him pure and uncut. It's Steve Edwards.
Morning, Chris.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, pretty good.
Excellent.
I'm ready.
And the Goldilocks of today's podcast, taking the role of subverting and fucking things up for the Three Bears, and back from Canada to return to RGF a one-time deal only, it's Dan Afflis.
That intro seemed a lot funnier on paper.
I hadn't heard it before, and I liked it a lot.
You'd read it before, had you then?
Yeah, it's not, it's not impromptu.
Oh, you didn't change my words?
No, I just read them.
That makes a nice change, doesn't it?
I just read them and disapproved.
After saying I had the final say with all the text content that goes up on the website.
Well, now you do have the final say because I'm no longer in charge of the RGF website.
Oh God, who is?
No one. God knows what's going on.
Well, it's probably
Plug the blog.
It's probably why the listenership is so low.
Yeah, no.
How long's the cast been going now?
Like I said, Rome wasn't built in a day.
It was 4 days, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I assume they had all of the fundamentals in place after a while.
I'm pretty sure the Romans would have made a bloody great good podcast. But the fact is they don't have one, and I do. So who's better, the Romans or me?
Us.
Well, according to the reviews that you've had so far, mainly 5 stars.
I quite like the reviews, yeah. 5 stars from a 14 rating.
But I must admit, this next thing is a little contrived, because I read the reviews, and one of them annoyed me a great deal.
You're going to read out for us?
Yeah, there's one that says here, stick it in your earbox. A good rotating cast of friendly fellas having an informal chat about games with a light sprinkling of movies and other nerd culture. Open parentheses. And they are all nerds, close parentheses.
Wow.
I take great offence to that remark.
Well, Dan, you shouldn't, because he's probably not referring to you, because, you haven't really been on the podcast.
Well, he's made a blanket statement. I've been on the podcast, this will be the 3rd time now.
Yeah, it's true, it's a lot.
You don't see yourself as nerdy then,
No, I'm tired of this geek chic movement. I will not be a part of it.
You're wearing a bow tie, though, and a little suede jacket.
That is true, and black-rimmed glasses.
And nothing from the waist down.
Yeah, that's true. But no, I resent being called a nerd by this gentleman. I thought I'd have a more articulate rant about it, but I can't really think of anything else. I just
bit early, I suppose.
Just leave me out of it.
Just gone into a rigid nerd rage.
Yeah, that's all.
Well, maybe you should stop being
but
such a nerd.
he goes on to say, with a decent topic and about 10 new features every episode, all of which have great names. Shame about some of the content.
Where does he get off?
I think that sums up pretty well.
I'm not happy about that last part.
Yeah. I'd like to see him come up with some better ones.
Yeah.
We try.
I am grateful for that listener's loyalty and support.
He'll remain
and as I discussed this issue with Chris before starting, and I said that if he were to cut this out, then I would no longer be a part of the RGF broadcasting team.
Yeah, you did say that.
Do you retract that statement now?
No, absolutely not. It's still very much.
But you probably won't do one for a while anyway.
At least a year, I'd say.
Yeah. So,
at the most, we are at least a little bit nerdy. Yeah. So
No, I refuse to buy into
we'll
that.
take your bow tie.
It was an insult. It was an insult when I was growing up.
That's true.
Yeah. Nerd's never been a good thing, has it?
Suddenly it is.
Let's try and take it back. This is where it starts.
So you guys want to recapture nerd and make it a bad word?
A good word.
Oh, you want to make it a good word?
Yeah.
No, this already is a good word.
There we go.
I'm completely
I
confused. I don't know what's going on anymore.
It's too early.
It's too early. Oh god, the sun's just rising.
Let's move on.
We're quaffing orange juice.
Some of us are drinking John Smith's
That was-
Extra Smooth. Second-hand news. The Wii-2 has been sent into the rumour mill.
Yeah.
There's plenty of rumours surrounding the Wii-2 / Project Cafe. What have we heard? What are the thoughts?
No, I have some thoughts, but I will let you get on with
It's
the
the first time I've heard it. It's been called Project Cafe.
Oh yeah, it's just one of those
Just
working
that,
titles, isn't it?
You can get on with the positive aspect, and then I'll.
Well, we'll just
I'll
deal.
cap
We'll,
it off
we'll
with
just
the
deal with the
negative.
facts. We'll just deal with the facts.
rumour
and
facts,
I,
yeah.
I don't deal with facts. I deal with
Opinion.
It's
purely
bile.
subjective and vitriolic opinion.
So what's been rumoured so far then, Chris? We've got more powerful than the Xbox.
Should hope so. As well.
HD graphics.
and PS3.
Well, yeah, I see. So I'm using that kind of implied.
Yeah, Rockstar apparently have a dev kit, as do some other studios.
Did you say as powerful graphics as the PS3? Is that what you said? Was I not
I
listening?
always kind of
thought it was
says as the
more.
Xbox, but I kind
More.
of because the PS3 is technically more powerful, but I don't know. Who knows if
Well,
that's more.
This
graphically-
is one aspect of the announcement that really pisses me off.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird how when the Wii first came out, the enthusiasts for the Wii were very much graphics and gameplay are mutually exclusive, and they love the gameplay like the two of them could not be fused. And now that there's the opportunity to fuse them, they're like, oh, forget what we said before. We'll go for graphics and gameplay. Well, they were never oil and water, everybody.
Dan, I thought
They
you-
existed as a thing. Okay.
I thought you were waiting until the end of the facts.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
no,
Yeah,
I'm going to butt in as.
What else we got? We've got
I
rumours.
so yeah,
You
the
just-
original people who championed the Wii for the gameplay, and now they're on this because the graphics. Oh, we're gonna hit a graphical wall. It's all about gameplay. Also, what that graphical wall has suddenly been smashed down, has it?
Crisis 2 looks very good.
Cunts.
Yeah, well.
There's going to be all rumours, people.
It's
There's
not even 10 minutes in, and somebody's already said cunts.
Cunts.
Oh,
And it is
dear.
the man who was drinking at 10:30 a.m.
There's going to be the controller with a high def screen in it that you can take on the
We've
move.
heard a high definition touchscreen. We've heard
Yeah.
normal definition
Normally on
touchscreen.
a screen on the controller.
Yeah, a touchscreen on the controller, possibly a controller that you can detach and take with you a lot in the same way as the way the Game Boy Advance used to connect to the
And the
GameCube.
Dreamcast did a little thing as well.
And the
didn't it?
Dreamcast with this visual
Why would
memory
it
unit.
need to be high definition if it's such a small screen?
I
anyway?
don't know.
Because it's 2011.
Yeah, everything has to be HD.
It's
Yeah.
the same.
Because you need
on a tiny
gimmicks.
screen.
You just
Yeah.
need constant gimmicks.
Yeah.
High definition is not a gimmick.
No,
Yeah, but when you implement it
only-
in a removable
Yeah, something that's going to be about 3 inches
Yeah.
large. It is a gimmick, isn't it?
definition of.
It has wheels. Oh no, that was one of our rumours.
Yeah.
It,
Look out for that.
Surely it's going to cost a lot.
Yeah.
Well, but Nintendo, they're not going to
Yeah,
bring out
and-
a super expensive system.
And 3DS
They just
was
won't do it.
expensive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're going to have all of these fucking crazy gimmicks in it, and it's not going to cost
Is
a
that
lot
yeah.
of money.
A HD
It's going to
screen.
be under $99.99.
Yeah.
It's my favourite.
For
rumour.
one controller.
Yeah, that is a good rumor.
Yeah.
Well, I think the thing is here is obviously Wii's done the old bait and switch. They've got everyone else obsessed with motion controlling, and then they've gone, well, fuck it, we're going for the high graphics, and we're going to knock out the park with our beautiful
Yeah,
Zeldas
but-
and our Marios looking as good as your Uncharted and your Crises.
Who could care? It's not a bait and switch because you know the Wii thing took off because thousands of inept gamers who have got no fucking clue about playing games bought a Wii and set it up in their living rooms and let their grandparents play it, and now suddenly this became a good commercial venture. So the reasonable and credible consoles took on the gimmicky wand shaking bullshit.
Shake your hips.
And now it's just watering down gaming. And with the launch of the Wii 2, I assume it's going to get even more rubbish.
Right.
I hate it. I said this from day one. I knew that the consoles would become gimmicky, stick shaking nonsense. And now look what's happened.
Yeah.
It's all there. Now everyone wants it. Now Granddad wants to play.
Now, as
Granddad should be sitting in an old person's home, looking at a tree with one remaining leaf on the tree that's just slowly withering.
isn't there time for a little bit of Wii bowling while he's waiting for
Yeah,
that leaf to
No,
fall?
absolutely
My
not. He
nana
should have
managed
nothing
to-
to do with it. At
My
this
nana
point.
managed to break her leg by
Stop.
just gardening, and she managed to go a few rounds of bowling and golf without doing herself a misdemeanor. So
There you go.
it's obviously safer than being in the real world. I'd rather Nana stay inside, play some Wii. Don't go into the scary
So
place.
Dan, you want gaming to be the thing that you do by yourself, alone in the dark.
I want gaming to be. Yeah, well, I see where you're going with this. You want me to say something
I'm not trying to lead you down any nerd path. I'm just saying that you'd rather game alone in a darkened room, disconnected from the internet, your PlayStation networks, your Xbox Lives, and you don't want grandparents to have fun.
Well, and
enjoy their last few seconds on this earth with some Wii doubles.
Old people should be isolated. I think the idea of social gaming itself is insanely perverse. In a way, you're not socializing, are you? Really, you might as well be talking to some kind of AI bot when you're online. It's not. You can't say there's any more merit in talking to people online and not talking to people online. You know what I mean? It's nonsense.
I don't know. The AI is rarely so constructive with its racist comments as your average Xbox Live
played
member.
all Portal 2 yet? Whoa, it's racist.
I don't have my Portal 2. It hasn't arrived. Those are the Wii 2 rumours at the moment.
Basically, I don't want to put any movement into gameplay. The thumbs.
Sure.
But with the Wii 2 bringing back Super HD graphics, and if they're catching up with it, then hopefully they're just going to also kind of just take a step back and come up with a slightly different way to engage.
Graphics over gameplay.
There is talk that
wait, it's the other way around.
The Wii, I know. I just thought you would rant. It doesn't matter what you'll just pick something and rant. It doesn't matter.
Run with it. No.
Sure, it's there is talk that Wii is going to limp on for the casual, and the new Project Cafe console is going to cater for the quote unquote hardcore.
Recapture the core market. That'd be a good strategy. I'd like to see.
So what do you think of that, Dan? One system for the wagglers.
I hope everybody who purchases a Nintendo Wii gets hit by a truck.
That's everyone here.
There's not going to be anyone left on the planet.
No, it's true.
And
except for me. It'd be like the Twilight Zone. I'll be on my own, just going into bakeries, eating as many donuts as I want. Be fine.
And secondly, on second-hand news, Dan, I've got written here, Dan Googly Eye. What does that refer to?
Well, I was over your house yesterday, and both you and your significant other, who is a man,
Steve.
everybody, you both have 3DSs, and I attempted to play the 3DS,
but
doesn't work.
No.
Wow.
We speculated on one of the early episodes of
way back
RGF
when
that it would not work, and that's a fact. I can't experience the joy of that.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, like I said to you last night, I do feel bad for you, but you're not missing out on too much. It's just an incremental improvement to the immersion.
Well, no, because I've heard people, enthusing over
it's
this.
absolutely terrific.
Yeah,
it is
game changer.
It is pretty good. I mean,
Nintendo have done it again. Yeah.
And the celebrities that did the cameos, Steve. I mean,
amazing.
They didn't give their real names, but you could tell it was them.
Yeah.
I like it. That's now officially off the market for me.
Because you would have bought a Nintendo 3DS.
No, absolutely not.
Super hyped.
You do have a DSi though, don't you?
Oh, I didn't really want that to be brought into the public.
How'd you get hold of one of them?
The blogosphere.
I paid for it, didn't I?
So you went out. They're quite new as well, aren't they? DSi's.
Oh, come on, let's just drop it.
Definitely can.
What's your favourite thing about the DSi, Dan?
Let's just start a different topic.
Probably PictoChat. Now,
largely.
The Gears 3 beta is live. I've heard that people like it. Next item on the news. None of us have played it, so we can't really talk about it, but it is new. Next on the agenda is that the PSN, also known as the PlayStation Network, has been down since
Wednesday night.
Since Wednesday night.
It's Monday morning.
This is not a crisis, everybody.
It's frustrating.
It's a free service.
No. We paid for our PS3s in the beginning.
But it's a free service, right? If it was the Xbox Live service, then you would have every right. But no.
Yeah, Mike's a PlayStation Plus member, so he's got a subscription going. He's not getting any of his.
I'll tell you who's got the most reason to complain. There are certain games, last year, PlayStation Network went down when the clock went mental. It went down for a day, and loads of games couldn't be played because they had some kind of online tracking.
I had to redo some trophies.
Majig. But now at the moment, there's some Capcom games that won't play. Bionic Commando Rearm 2, for example, will not play at the moment because there's some wonderful DRM in there.
Every cloud and all that.
Every cloud and all that.
You have to redo trophies. They say the starving kids in Africa have got it tough. You have to redo trophies, and you're without the PSN network for several days. You can use any other of your 50 million consoles that I'm looking at now to get your entertainment. Chris, it's a free service. Relax.
Look, it's going to be back. I live in the first world. I am an overindulgent, greedy,
yesterday
Westerner.
You were complaining about being full. Oh, I've got too much nutrients inside me.
But yeah, it is a first world problem. But in my sphere of knowledge, experience, and existence, the PSN down is an issue.
It's not a big deal.
I think the big thing right now is obviously what
Relax.
caused it, what's going on, and why have Sony just kind of said, yeah, it's fine, we're just going to do something.
They haven't even told us what
They've been rubbish.
We
It's
haven't
not a
had no information.
conspiracy, okay? Just
I'm not
relax.
saying it's a conspiracy, but we've had no information. We don't know when it's going to be back up. And I'm sorry, Dan.
You're not through the looking glass here. There's no,
You
there's
say
no
there's no
malice in it.
conspiracy. There's a conspiracy, but Microsoft Xbox Live's free to play this weekend for everybody.
Yeah.
Suspicious. If it was a targeted attack by the main theory is it's a hacker group. Possibly the one called.
GeoHot.
Well, no, it's not GeoHot. It's
come back
it's
for
the
more.
anonymous, the wonderfully named. Have you seen the videos they've done when they threaten PlayStation? They do the fake voices. We are anonymous. We will not take this PlayStation madness. We are going to kill you all.
They're not Al Qaeda. Who do they
Well,
think they are?
I know exactly.
Yeah,
They're saying they haven't done it. And the point is, no one knows why or what, and it's just a bit weird more than anything else. And there's a lot of games out this weekend. SOCOM, Mortal Kombat, Portal 2, all good multiplayer games that haven't been able to be played yet.
None of which can be played online.
Yeah, but single player's been great, so it's not a big crisis. It's just
Yes,
weird.
it's not
just weird.
an unmitigated disaster. It's not the 9/11 a repeat
No.
or any other related terrorist attack. It's just a network is down briefly, do something else.
Yeah, well, it's 4 days.
Idiots.
It's about 5 days.
By
5 days.
by the time this goes live, hopefully it's back up and running again, and we have a good reason. But at the moment, we're all in the dark. I'm scared.
I'm not in the dark. I'm not bothered.
You didn't you punt your PlayStation 3 out a window?
No, I still have it.
Hey.
Now,
I just made idle threats.
Dan, say what you want. It's a problem. They need to sort it
Yeah.
out.
So
It
we'll be
is a
more
problem, but I don't think it's as big a crisis
not,
as you would say.
Xbox Live has been down. You say once. I don't even think. When was this?
Apparently
2008.
2008 people keep reporting. 2 days, I think.
I don't. If I was a member at the time, I don't remember that happening. But obviously, there's been two considerably catastrophic
Yeah,
PlayStation Network blackouts while I've been a member of that service. I mean, Dan, if
I love
Xbox,
the language you're using
if,
here.
if Xbox Live Silver service went down, people aren't paying for that, but that would still be
Annoying.
not,
So
not
they have
good
to go
enough.
do something else. They have to go outside or
It's
something.
been so sunny this weekend, hasn't it?
You've got to seize the day. I, for example, am drinking at roughly 20 to 11 in the morning. That's seizing the day. I'm not concerned about a PlayStation Network.
I think you're on the wrong podcast. More PlayStation news. The PlayStation Portable Go has officially been killed in Japan and Europe, but not in North
Assassination.
Kel fucking surprise. Oh, sorry, that slipped out.
Yeah, there's not much to say there other than they're making way for the new NGP that should be coming out at the end of the year. They've decided to stop
Chris,
production.
you recently purchased a PlayStation Go, have you not? A PSP Go.
I was very much keen to get one, and I have one, but it was obviously a failure.
Now, this is a crisis, you see, because you've shelled out money for a now defunct console.
The content's
They're
still
not
there.
making them anymore, and there's still, all the digital content is available as it always has been.
Brilliant. Good
Yeah.
purchase, was it?
Yeah, I'm happy. Good. Money's not an issue.
First about that.
Good God. Listen to this guy.
I know.
Portal 2 is out. People like it, but I still have not had mine delivered from HMV.com.
It's phenomenal.
Should have come on Thursday.
It's really
Yeah.
good, yeah.
It's now Monday.
Yeah, but it's Easter. It's
Easter's
the
a
weekend,
dodgy
you know.
weekend,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Yeah,
It's fine.
I should have received it on Thursday.
You should have, but it'll be fine. You'll get it and you will
Relax.
love it.
I'm
Shove
looking.
it.
You've got a media collection that could rival HMV at this point. I think you can survive.
The consolation has been that Mortal Kombat has been a lot of fun.
Portal Combat.
And now that you've
Yep.
said Mortal Kombat, when we were playing Mortal Kombat yesterday,
Oh,
obviously I became infuriated that the fatalities are now listed in a moveset. I
They're
hate it.
easy as well, aren't they?
I hate it.
Yeah.
They used to be really hard.
Because the simple joy of Mortal Kombat, as I explained yesterday when it first came out, was going down the arcade and seeing some guy who knew the fatality somehow, cranking him out. You ask him how it's done, and he's like, what have you got for me? And then you wind up having to beat him off in a toilet. And then he tells you how to do Liu Kang's dragon. But it's not like that anymore.
But now with the internet being at the stage that it's at, you can Google all the fatalities
Yeah, but I
anyway.
don't
So
want
you
them in the game.
may as well stick them in game.
You were stopping the game in to press pause and look. Oh, what's the next move? Oh, I'll do that. It's rubbish.
Yeah.
I
To
hate
be
it.
fair, I mean, Mortal Kombat isn't on at my local arcade, so I can't really play it there.
Yeah, the
Rubbish, I hate
arcade
it.
scene is dead now, Dan. I
Yeah.
mean, that was
probably
beating
why.
off an older man in the toilet in the 90s was a lot of fun.
The heyday.
But those days are sadly behind us, so you
Yeah.
might as well stick the fatalities in game.
No, terrible
No, I
idea.
agree. It's a
I
bit
hate
of a
it.
shame.
Yeah.
But they look good, yeah? Good-looking fatalities. What about the babe-alities?
There's no babalities.
Friendships.
There are.
There's no friendships.
There's babe-alities.
I'm sure
where
there
they
are
become
babe-alities,
baby,
isn't
they
there?
turn them into babies and they die. Have you not seen that?
Mike, I know what a babality is, but there are no babalities.
Everyone knows
in
what a babality is. You know, you ask a man on the street, he's going to be babality. Yeah.
There's babe-alities in the game, right?
No, apparently there wasn't going to be, but yeah, I've heard that there are hidden babalities.
Sweet.
I mean,
And you
I
could
saw a
just
little video
access
for
the
them, they're
pause menu
hilarious.
to see how they're done.
yes.
Maybe they're the new fatalities. They're hidden away. You don't know how to do those. So, fuck yeah.
Moving on, the ICO collection and The Last Guardian has been delayed to 2012.
It's a shame.
Steve, what do you think?
Got no
Steve-
strong feelings.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
Steve's
pretty
got
much a
strong
positive
feelings about
opinion
this,
for
haven't
Yeah.
Steve.
Not outright hate from Dan, so that's
You're not happy about this. I'm not happy about this.
it's a shame. Yeah, but I don't think we all thought Last Guardian would come out this year anyway.
No, but I want the collection
Yeah.
because I'm a guy who hasn't played
Yeah.
Well, that hasn't been
Shadow of Colossus or ICO.
that hasn't been officially confirmed as delayed. It was Last Guardian was officially pushed back to 2012. The collection, fingers crossed, might still creep out, poke his little head out, and say hello.
Should do, shouldn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
let me give you some advice. Don't play Shadow of Colossus. It's tedious.
You're not.
Oh,
I
God,
tried
here
to
we
kill
go.
my horse. Couldn't do it.
Well, you get well.
You can lash out at the face. Nothing
aggro.
happens.
Why would you
The
want
horse
to do
does
that?
have great breaks, doesn't it? When you're
Oh
running
no,
towards
he's,
a cliff.
he really does.
Stops
Sometimes
quickly.
even a 2-foot ledge.
They
he
do.
Play a
goes,
video game.
Try to kill my horse.
No, you can kill the horse. I'm sure.
I
No,
lash
you
out.
can't.
You die with the. Oh, you
Yeah.
can't.
You're thinking
stab
of
it.
Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed.
No, you can jump
I
off
wanted to
cliffs and
plunge a
stuff.
knife into its face.
Oh yeah, you can't. That's harsh, man.
Yeah.
Little aggro.
Surely just taking out on the big colossi. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
More.
Well, it's always best to kill someone you love and care about.
Yeah.
If you are going to do it.
You'd appreciate them all when they're gone, I guess, won't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so no horse killing for me until 2012. It looks
Yeah,
like.
but
Not,
killing for anyone,
unless we sort of do a whip around. We'll buy a horse and
Flog it.
Flog it in the back garden.
yeah.
Go play some Red Dead. You can kill a load of
Okay,
horses in that.
Can we turn that into some sort of Ready Game Fire feature?
Yes.
Where
Horsing
we
around.
murder an innocent
Flogging a
animal,
dead
yeah.
horse.
Horseplay.
We interrupt this podcast to bring you an urgent bulletin. The PlayStation Network has been confirmed to have been hacked by hackers, and they may have your effing credit card details and your effing address. So as soon as you hear this, destroy your credit card and destroy your home address so the hackers can't find you. Thank you. Back to Ready Game Fire, regular scheduled programming. Thank you.
That was secondhand news. Here's Sunny Modi with the sunnier side of gaming.
Since '82, a small Massachusetts town has collectively worn a gaming frown. For the people of Marshall had to make do, like Pac-Man, Frogger, or Donkey Kong 2. For 29 years, no child has enjoyed playing wondrous games in this arcade void. But wait, hurrah! Today that has waned. The ban has been lifted, the joy uncontained. Across all Marshfield, coins will be spent as joysticks waggle and high scores are bent. So everyone smile with this all-American town as they turn their gaming frown upside down.
Oh wow.
Good one, Sonny.
That's cheered me up.
Vintage Modi.
That
Really?
has cheered me up. That was a really nice.
What a
thing.
ray of sunshine
Yeah.
in a otherwise gloomy day.
I know. It's actually a bit gloomy
It's
today,
not
so
gloomy,
thank you,
was it?
Sonny.
Something's happened in the last.
Yeah. Well, it's the sunny side up. It's really it's blinded him.
Switching them on.
Dan's
Nice.
put on.
I can see myself now.
Dan's such a conflicting man of principle. I mean, if any of us put on our sunglasses indoors right now, I wouldn't be surprised to receive a punch from Dan, square on the jaw.
Break those
And
glasses.
yeah, here he is with his huge aviators,
Yeah.
his John Smiths. It's 10:51 a.m. and we're indoors.
Yeah, I'm a man of distinction.
There's Dan Afflis. He's back.
Don't sound too excited.
Story in games. Okay. Mike,
Yeah.
you cry like a little baby when there's no characters that you can sympathise and
Yep.
empathise
Oh,
with
yes.
in games.
Oh yes.
The new Pac-Man came out,
Oh,
and you
shit,
and you,
man.
and you whined a lot because it didn't star Nathan Drake or something to that effect. I wasn't really listening.
Yeah, no, it was more that it was just the same old shit again.
It was the scores though for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't
It got a lot of
motivate me,
perfect
just
scores.
scores. Yeah, I got 4 points, I think. Is that quite a lot in that game? 4 points?
Steve's talking about the review scores, and you're talking about your high score.
Yeah.
I'm saying it was because it got
Cut back.
perfect 10s, wasn't it?
Yeah, perfect 10's crazy for
And
a
you got
remake
pissed
of a game that's been done.
It was a game with a shit
earliest
story.
games.
Gets a 5 out of 10.
No
you,
story.
You get annoyed because you can't empathise and see yourself in the protagonist's
It's not annoying. It's when
The
it's
everyman, Mike Power.
yeah, because the everyman, for example, if let's take Dead Space for example,
Yeah.
is not running around in a, sort of a galactical wasteland in some kind of wacky suit. How can you possibly feel any kinship with that guy?
I think one of the one of the stronger points is to talk about. Obviously, it needs to be narrative done well. I mean, I started playing Motorstorm Apocalypse, which has tried to shoehorn in a storyline that makes no sense and actually detriments the game because the cutscenes are so abysmal and so irrelevant that you just want to get on with the race. So while I may contradict myself slightly,
Sorry, I wasn't listening. You're talking about the story in
Motorstorm Apocalypse, yeah, just
There's a story in there.
yeah, they cut away to these little goofy cutscenes and they're just a waste of space.
Carmageddon had a good story.
Yeah, what was the Carmageddon story?
well,
Shit like zombies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Kill him.
And you got
My thing was more
Drive to
that.
Survive.
what was the story behind Metal Slug? Nothing.
Well, this is my thing. I think a game. my thing is this: a game could always be bettered by a strong narrative.
No way.
So Mike is very much a new school gamer, and I'm very much stuck in the past. One could argue, and because I've been playing games since I was little, and games used to be a series of bleeps and bloops, and the protagonist would probably be 2 pixels wide. Story is less important to me, and I still humbly believe, in my own opinion, that video game narrative is still shit.
Yeah.
For want of a better word, they don't engage me like novels do or films do. I mean, sorry, picture books.
Pop-up
The
books.
pot ones that you open, things pop up and go. You press a button, and it makes the noise according to the bit of the story you're in.
These for urine off.
I can't
No,
take you
yes.
seriously with those mirrored shades on.
Well, you're gonna
look
have to get used to it because I'm in Rockstar mode right now.
it is quite nice to see what the round table looks like, though,
Oh, yeah?
to his mirrored shades.
It's nice. I
Pretty
like
good.
You can see all of us.
But anyway, I mean, Mike, so, Uncharted is a great game, and I really like it. It's very cinematic, but as far as narrative is concerned, I personally feel like it's a story that could have been written by anyone. It's very much a borrowing from Indiana Jones films and other treasure hunting films and games.
I think.
Right, this has been said before in various TV and other mediums, but the problem I feel is twofold. People, first of all, expect cutscenes, and so therefore they're going to be in the game. And two, the people writing cutscenes are basing their literary references on fucking movies they've seen, like Scarface and Godfather, instead of actually reading books.
Well,
or even just like they're based. Oh, let's write a story. Oh, I'll reference Grand Theft Auto in this, or I'll reference something else. It's not writers writing things. It's guys who are on the internet laughing at pictures of cats with grammatically inaccurate sentences written below. You go to any dev place, and that's what it's like. Just laughing hysterically at unfunny pictures, memes. Oh, it's so funny. You say the same thing over and over. There's a guy with a contorted face, and he's the troll face. Just it's not. But these are the people who are writing the games, and then you wonder why narrative suffers.
I think it's fair to say that.
Sorry, Mike, I've just received Trollface in Catland has just been announced from Twisted Pixel Games.
Holy
Brilliant.
shit!
So
playing that.
Look forward to that one.
And
I
yeah,
think
that's why.
I think it's fair to say 80% of games now narrative is either not done or badly done, and
It's just
no good.
gay space marines going around in a cliched way, swearing and blowing shit up, which is fine.
Yeah.
But as an argument for narrative,
No, but
it does not. It doesn't hold
those
up.
Try and
aren't-
make it a profound
Those
thing.
aren't my arguments. That's the point. That not every game can be like not every film can be. You're always going to have Piranha 3D. You're always going to have.
I love Piranha
Of course
3D.
you do. Yeah, and this is maybe where it all comes down to it.
Tits.
But having just finished Portal 2, just an absolutely phenomenal narrative story game that had
You finished it?
yeah.
It's not that long.
That actually kind of almost put gameplay a little too much to the back, but that's okay because the writing in that is sharp as shit.
Valve games
Yeah.
are shining
Those are ones
stars
exactly.
for
And
the
when you think
narrative
of those
argument.
games and their
Yeah,
gameplay,
Left 4 Dead was a real fucking crime and punishment, wasn't it?
yeah. Well, Left 4 Dead was interesting because the story was.
Polishing his glasses.
He loves his Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead obviously was actually strong because it had the great gameplay with just a very minimal storyline.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It had no narrative at all.
Yeah. Well, I had a little bit.
These guys want to kill you and eat your brains. Done. And I'm happy with that.
I was referring more to Half-Life and Portal.
Yeah. Well, when you
No,
looked,
you know, you said Valve was a blanket term, and I just wanted to point out that.
but they still nailed the narrative. I mean, narrative doesn't have to mean like there is a story that is told in a beginning, middle, and end. It's like a set of characters that have like a progression through a game that actually has a focus on people achieving things, doing things, the world changing, and then that every story in that, it's got a great narrative in that every mission is like a little movie. That is a really tight formal narrative that's amazing, that progresses the gameplay.
Look, Mike, I finished GCSE English about roughly 11 or 12 years ago. I don't need any more of this, okay? So
That's what I'm here for, I'm afraid.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
You're going to go bleep, bloop, bloop, and I'm going to go...
Bite size. Now, so Mike, you sometimes struggle maybe to find a continuing interest in a game that just deals in high scores, beating your fastest time on a thing. Whereas that's what I kind of love about
playing
games.
a game for the sake of playing a game it gets tougher in my old age because I just want to experience new things, and the best way for
Then
that to
watch a
happen is through a
fucking
great
movie.
narrative.
Don't play a game.
Nah,
If you
interactive,
don't-
man.
If you
My
don't want to
point
be
of my-
competitive, watch a fucking passive form of media and sit down, or be like that old man watching a withering leaf. Okay? Because it's all
I
about
want
the
it
high
all.
scores.
I
okay?
want it all. I
Or you
want
can't have it all.
immersion, and I want the story, and it can be done. Portal did it. Braid did it. Uncharted did it in a not a very creative way, but it did it in a very engaging, action-paced way.
Don't you
Heavy
want to
Rain was
excel?
Heavy
in
Rain
the
was
game,
brilliant.
though?
Huh?
Don't you want to feel like
No,
you've
I want to
excelled?
just go through the game and enjoy it. I want it to be just
You know, then
challenging
watch
enough.
a fucking movie then. That's all.
Mike does use walkthroughs for a lot of computer.
Jesus.
Yeah,
He's a
here we go.
walkthrough whore.
Yeah, if I get stuck in the narrative, I want to push on and get through it.
You don't have to get a walkthrough if you put a DVD in the fucking player and press play.
For a man who loves his narrative so much,
Yeah.
don't read any books.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Harry
if
Potter
you-
books,
if you-
read them a lot.
Oh,
You're an adult. Come on.
What? They're adult covers.
No.
He's not the only one. He's not the only.
I did.
One who
Those
reads
people
those
should be
books.
utterly ashamed.
but he's the only one that claims that narrative is so important to him in computer games.
And
Yeah,
yet
computer
he
games.
reads books about a disobedient wizard. Okay?
He's so naughty.
Yeah, just read an adult book.
I thought he was quite a goody two shoes.
No, he is.
With Potter.
I was talking about Draco Malfoy.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
Is he your favourite?
Well, I mean, Steve, we talk a lot about Mario versus Uncharted because my main problem with I like the Mario's games as they've gone is it's been the same formula again and again with no change in a kind of
But it works.
story. It works,
Yeah.
but not for, it doesn't work for me
Well,
anymore.
you really didn't like I don't
Galaxy
know why you
2,
didn't
no,
like
I
Galaxy
didn't.
2,
It was
even
a
though
rehash.
it's the best Mario game.
I was about to say that
It's up there though.
you know it doesn't bother me at all if there's no story. I don't care, and I don't go looking for story when you don't need to. Whereas Mike, we spoke about Mario Galaxy 2, and you were frustrated at the lack of story.
Oh yeah,
But that's not why you play Mario again.
but it could be.
No, but it isn't.
It could be both.
Play Mario RPG or
The Mario RPGs, there's story in that.
yeah, but those are RPGs. But I mean, my point is, you don't need to search for the story. There's enough engaging gameplay and
I'm not,
fantastical worlds to immerse yourself
And
in.
you know, and keep in mind your girlfriend has been, captured by some form of gigantic lizard. That should be enough.
Exactly, yeah.
But
you want to relate to something, right?
There-
Yeah.
it's-
I know
it's-
you want to.
That's
That's
easier
the
to relate
easiest one
to.
in the world.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
I
Everyone
relate
knows
to
what I feel
Toad.
about.
What is that
a
weird?
giant lizard is
I
stolen
relate to
your,
the
your
blue toad
missus.
the most.
Yeah.
It's a paper-thin story, but you can insert your own personality and your own theories as to motivation as to why Bowser's doing what he's doing.
My thing with Mario
It's not
Galaxy.
paper thin because, like, in every game in the 80s, it was it's a guy walking down the street with his girlfriend. Bad guy takes the girlfriend, and then you go through the game to get to the bad guy.
But you see, I
I'm
love
thinking about My Hero specifically for the Master System. Yeah.
I loved Sunshine because it just changed the formula up a little bit. It wasn't Bowser
Mario
anymore. It was
Sunshine.
another
hated
different
Mario
arc.
Sunshine is a terrible game.
wonderful,
Strong
wonderful
phrase.
And
I love Sunshine.
what are you talking about? It's
feel
the
like
same story again.
But it's different. Mario
Why?
Galaxy 2 took.
Why is it different? You're
took
just
the same
Mike,
story of Mario Galaxy 1
You have
and
to be
rebooted
honest.
it.
You have to be honest with me now.
Yeah.
You are picking Sunshine because it's it's no one's favourite.
No, it's the one I love.
And you are rebelling against
Yeah.
Mario Galaxy 2 because it is so
When
universally
I
loved.
played through the Mario games,
Mike, you have to be honest.
I didn't know people who played games when I played Mario Sunshine, and I loved it as it happened.
Someone needed to step in and steer you
Nah,
away
you
from
great,
okay,
it.
man.
so
New
presume-
game mechanics and a new kind of
You
nemesis.
didn't
mechanics are
know
awful.
anybody who played games when that game came out. So,
Well,
so you weren't in school or
No, not massive. I haven't really played that many games.
Mike
no.
took himself out of school to
become a
rear-
huge
to play
homosexual.
Mario Sunshine.
huge raving.
You don't need to be. You can be at school and gay.
Okay,
Because what I've learned is that school kids are very tolerant of people who are different from them.
They accept
really
differences.
Exactly.
They have little clubs for it. They welcome you in, say hello, different, come on in. But you've been a big fan of the Mario universe and how it's never really kind of progressed. So imagine if there'd been some unifying, overarching story.
I know what you're trying to get at here. We had a discussion about
Now I know what you're doing, Mike.
5
and
months
it's not working.
ago,
Well, you could ruin it.
and I came up with my
You had a great theory.
about that there is a story in Mario.
Yeah.
It was so much just, it's just a bit of a laugh. We're having a laugh on a train on the way home, and I said that I think it's all just like Chinese whispers. It's like it starts off the first game, and then in the next one, someone's like, "Did you hear this story about this guy Mario?" And then they add a little bit every time, and they say, "Oh, did you hear? He had a raccoon tail." It's like the next one. Oh, in this one he was in 3D,
And
and then in this one he had a little water cannon on him.
Purple monkey dishwasher.
Purple monkey
At the
dishwasher, yeah. And then it keeps on going. And eventually someone's like, "Oh, fuck it, it was in space.
Yeah.
It happened in space." And
if it all turned out it was a beautiful yarn being weaved into
yeah,
one
it all
epic
started with
tapestry,
the simple
I'd be
story
happy
of
as
Mario
Larry.
picking up Peach
And the
from
dishwasher.
on the dishwasher.
So Mario has just been one happy accident.
I think
Like
like
when I accidentally slept with a family member.
I think the original story was just a big monkey stole the woman. But
The monkey stole it.
the monkey stole her, and
Can we,
somewhere it turned into a lizard.
Something's been overlooked here. And
Child pornography?
you just
haven't
you
touched
just
on that.
mentioned an incest-related incident,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
just went around it like it was nothing.
No, of
It's
course,
called
yeah.
professionalism, isn't it?
Yeah, you just ignore it and move on.
It's becoming
I
second
won't
hand
let
on
my
the show.
shit point get interrupted for any kind of.
And even Chris admitting to having intercourse with a family member.
Yeah.
Could be a second cousin.
We don't want to get bogged down in just sticking with with Mario for
Yeah,
too long,
just leave
but
it,
story-wise aside, it did pretty much popularise 2D platformers as we know it, and then 3D platformers as we know
Yeah,
it.
that was great. One trick.
There
and you're done.
were so
Move on.
many one trick.
One
There,
trick.
there are so many Nintendo haters out there, and they kind of refuse to accept.
I
the
love
face of gaming has pretty much been crafted by Miyamoto.
Yeah, no, I love, and that was great back in the 80s and the early 90s. That was a great, I mean, obviously earlier than that.
What
But,
you-
that pushed it forward. But now we're in a world now where I think you can cater to that. You don't just have to stick to the one progressive level and nothing more. Put some more into it. Why not? If you've got, they've nailed the game design, the gameplay. Now try and
But
put
they
something
do
else
have a
in there
little
as well.
story in there, don't they?
And
About star
that was
people.
fine in the
Some people.
that was fine in the 80s, where you think people in the 80s didn't enjoy stories.
Nah,
Now, we're not
they,
doing
they like neon colours, and that was
between
it.
high-powered business deals and shoulder pads. You
Yep.
know, so
And
we've got no time for stories. They hated it.
mountains of cocaine.
It was just the films were nothing. There was just no
Nah, no
stories
good
there,
films
and they came
days.
out of there. They're like, yeah, this is what I like.
No, but gaming was still a little baby back in the 80s.
Full of shit, Mike. Oops, I slipped out. Sorry.
Now you said this the other day as well. Now technology was limiting at the time, but it didn't make the games any less enjoyable.
No, no, absolutely
one
not.
could argue they were more enjoyable back then because there was more of a challenge.
Yeah.
Gamers are spoon-fed nowadays.
I'll agree
and
with that.
And
Well, you're only arguing that because you're Mr. Retro. You're on the retro bandwagon. I myself have discarded that bandwagon.
now, Dan, you rebel against this so-called retro culture. Now, I'm not a member of the retro culture. I just
Chris, I'm looking at your shelf here. It's all you have a Nintendo controller that's made out of tin, and you open it up, and there are mints inside. If that is not for retro purposes, I don't know what it. What else you got?
He's got the SNES that's actually a classic controller as well.
Yeah.
The SNES controller that's a classic controller for the Wii.
Sorry, Dan. Do you not want a mint? Is this?
I was going to suggest you
I
had one,
kinda
so we're a
would
bit
in a
close right
way.
now.
I don't think
Yeah.
you should have one, Dan.
Right.
Considering what's happened.
Can you please? It's a bit, bit stenchy over here.
Yeah, but yeah, you know, you can't really talk about it. You have a Gremlins fucking thing there. You are Mr. Retro.
This is the nerd war all over again.
I
isn't
know.
it?
Yes, it's slowly developing.
Well, it's always there. This looming cabinet in our office, in our towers.
Yeah.
of
You may
office,
notice. You may
cabinet.
notice. There's old media on my shelves. There's new media on the shelves.
Die
I have
Hard.
every base covered. Yeah, Die Hard is there.
Yep.
Rocky.
Say what you see, Mike.
Rocky.
What's
Basically
going on now?
So yeah, back to
Anyway, back to Assaulting Mike.
Oh yeah, of course.
So,
yeah. Where's my? So no one's ever enjoyed a story in a game.
A point you made a while ago as well, which I thought was stupid, talking about Uncharted, was you said the pacing is perfect in Uncharted.
Yeah.
But my point is, in computer games, you die all the time. So the pacing can never be perfect because
Okay.
you just go have to repeat bits all the time. Because
Yeah.
computer games, that's not anything wrong with.
Maybe you die all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen Mike play.
No, that's a fair point. That's one of the big barriers. Obviously, you can't ever fully get like into a game in the story if you're just going to keep dying all the time. Well, Heavy Rain came along and let you play, and if you died, you died. That's interesting and stark way to do it.
But this theory is very much based on video games wanting to be movies. They're not movies. They're separate entities. Why would you apply pacing to a video game like you would apply to a movie?
Because when I talk about pacing,
by this token, this pacing, when you're reading a fucking book, some guy who can read about 8 words a minute, he's going to struggle with the pacing.
I'm talking about how
it's a separate entity, okay?
Yeah, I'm talking about how the story...
It's a different thing.
How the story unfolds. In a game Half-Life, when I played, it had fucking amazing pacing as well. I.e., you'll play through the first few hours of the game will be non-stop action, there'll be a little bit of puzzle solving, maybe some story exposition, back into the action. That's pacing, when it keeps you involved by changing things up, keeping things exciting.
In a video game, though,
I nailed that. Portal nailed that as well.
I don't really... I kind of, when I play a game, I want all-out action.
This is pretentious bullshit, Mike.
It's what I enjoy, though.
Take it to your art house.
I don't have an art house. I've only got a shed.
I mean, who could have predicted that games would have become as cinematic as they have?
Yeah, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Point that
well done.
Jamie Rathbone, who was going to be on this originally, wanted me to bring up is that kind of you say you do without story in games, but pretty much every game's got some kind of story in it. Like Space Invaders got a story in it. Frogger.
Invaders from space.
Yeah. Invaders.
Froggers
I mean, you mentioned
Metal
Slug. That's got something's going down there.
But
so there's not a game with, and this, so every game's got a narrative in it of some form.
Yeah.
I think it's more natural when you talk over one another.
I know, but then when you listen to it, it's just a cacophony of bellows, isn't it?
Well, if it's a bellowing contest, you want now.
So I could play Space.
Please, after you.
No,
I could play Space.
Carry on.
I could play Space Invaders and Tetris till the cow came home.
Tetris is one.
When I was a young'un, and now when I've gone back to like Tetris Extreme on the PS3 and Space Invaders Extreme on the PS3, I can't play them anymore. They're just there's not enough for me there anymore.
It's weird. I've gone in the absolute opposite direction. Big slogging single player grind fests turn me off nowadays.
I wonder why.
When they sound fun, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
When a quick game
phrase like that.
When a quick game of Tetris or Pac-Man Championship Edition DX is exactly what I'm after. Small bursts of fun because my attention span is shorter than it has ever been. So
I'm half with you there. What gets me now is small games that have like an underlying narrative, something. Braid, Flower, Portal, games that have the gameplay is solid and it's just gameplay.
Oh,
but in the background there's something going on. There's a narrative of like
that story in Tiny Wings is just oh my god, I love that story in Tiny Wings. Why are his wings so tiny? Why are his wings so tiny?
Handheld gaming is different.
Where are his family?
What happened to his big wings?
You never meet his family. There's probably a reason for that.
It's funny actually. When I started playing Tiny Wings, I did start thinking, "Oh, is a story here? The further I get, the bigger my wings will get." Ooh.
There's too much narrative in my own life, and I play video games for escapism. There's too much going on in my life with characters that I know.
A good story can take away from that, and one that you actually interact with. See, if you just finished Portal 2, what would you say about that in terms of like a game that had a good narrative and script and characterization?
It was funny.
It was funny. What about
funny game?
What about the rest of it? The
rest of it.
Yeah.
But the thing okay, this is kind of going against your point. But,
That's fair.
What I enjoyed about Portal 2 so much is that sense of accomplishment when you've figured out these difficult puzzles, because they are not that hard.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a nice feeling when I finish it.
I love that in tandem.
That's it. Well.
I love that in tandem with some great writing and a really fun
it's a funny game.
Progresses along.
But what's noticeable for me is that it was funny. And the story's it's interesting, but it's not like probably one of the lowest reasons down why I enjoyed the game.
I thought I had an ally, and I turned out I had a deep enemy.
What hurts your argument as well, Mike, is, and this is kind of similar in what we spoke about with video game movies on the last episode. That's episode 9, available on iTunes, readygamefire.co.uk. Is that there are so many games out there with dog shit storylines.
Yeah, there are a lot.
That finding the diamonds story-wise are
beautiful.
quite hard. Yeah, I know, but they're so few.
Did you say Dog Days storyline?
God, was that Kane Lynch? I'm not saying every game has good stories. I'm saying that it would be great if they did.
I know you're not. I'm saying there's just too much. I think the standard, unfortunately, is too low.
But people are pushing it. Valve. Enslaved was a great game last year. Enslaved Odyssey to the West had a really good story and good characterization. The gameplay was a bit shoddy.
We went through this, but it got removed from a cast before. It doesn't have good characterization because.
Good for a computer game.
No, because you want to make...
herein lies the problem.
Yeah,
everyone's standard is too low.
But it's getting there.
No, but the main... In Slave specifically, the main character, you don't care if she lives or dies because she's a huge cunt.
I do. Her family dies.
I don't care.
Spoilers.
Kill her. I don't care. Kill her.
You can't. She'll kill you.
She's putting somebody else's life in danger to save her own life. She has no redeeming qualities as a person, okay? I don't care if she lives or dies. Mario, I'm upset when he falls into the lava. He's a good guy. He just tries to have an attractive woman.
He
tries
got
to
a bad bone in his body, is he?
Yeah, he tries to plumb, and then look what happens.
Yeah, some would say a bit boring and one-dimensional.
Huh?
Others might
Yeah,
say...
but I don't want him dead.
I might a little bit.
The thing is, we really don't want to get stuck on Mario again, but what I will say is this. Nowadays, you get an endless conveyor belt of space marines in trouble with tanks the size of houses. Whereas Mario, when Mario first came around, unlike some other popular 90s and 80s video game characters, it was a very unique world because there was nothing like it. It was its own entity, and fair enough. That people don't like Mario in the universe. That switches people off. That's fine, but it was original and it was.
But I like
different.
that. But that's why I didn't like Galaxy 2 because it wasn't original. It was Galaxy 1 again. That
Well,
was my
it-
thing.
it-
And
it-
if there'd been a continued storyline,
But
there
you
could have
don't-
been one way to keep it fresh and exciting. Just one way. Not the only way.
No, but you ignore all of the new levels. You just describe
It
it as
felt
in like it's
exactly
the
the same.
same game, but
It
it's
felt
not the same.
exactly the
But then I'd always say Uncharted.
That's
2
fine.
is
Then
the
say that
same
then.
in that way.
Then say that. I don't get frustrated about that. You do.
But you know, it's convenient on the.
It's
podcast,
not because
you know.
this is kind of beauty of it. Is that Uncharted isn't particularly original in gameplay or its story, but the fact that it's merging that story into a game really well is what makes it exciting. Is that it feels fresh because it's got a storyline that is presented in a way that isn't done very often in games. And that doesn't mean it's beautiful because it's done in films. Of course it is, but it's original and it's fresh because it's in a game.
Now,
And that's what excites me.
can we just say that we would like to see some new ideas from Nintendo? As beloved as the Mario franchise and their others are, some new IPs would be nice.
Yeah.
Wii
Please.
We music, we fit, we play.
Oh dear.
Have you
You
not-
haven't come under assault, Mike.
Yeah,
You
but-
represent the side of
Yeah, that's what.
desperately clawing away at every game to find the hidden narrative.
Hell yeah.
When sometimes it just isn't there and doesn't need to be searched for.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're talking about one specific type of game as well. Like, some of the best-selling games are, like, sports games, and what's the fucking narrative there?
Why is
I want to
Madden
win.
continually searching for perfection in American football year in, year
He's
out?
searching for the Holy Grail. That's what the last one was about. You know, he's going through caves on a journey.
The secret turn-based RPG hidden within the last Madden game was
Yeah.
top drawer.
How's the
It was
story in Mortal
exceptional.
Kombat?
Mortal Kombat does actually have one of the most fun story modes in a fighting game I have ever played.
Sounds like that added a lot to the experience.
It's time for listener mail. Obviously, the 4 questions that we're about to read out all stand a chance of winning a Steam copy of Portal 2, and we've got their names in a hat / Optimus Prime helmet. We're going to draw the names out of the hat in a little bit, but first of all, here's question number 1, and this is going to be mainly directed towards Mike because he likes PlayStations.
PlayStation.
Hi guys, first great episode. I think the best one so far. I think he's talking about our boss episode.
Oh,
which
yeah,
was
So, number 1, I think.
number 8.
He's late to the party.
God no, Dan. Jesus Christ. I think the best so far. The boss feature was a nice one, but where was the mention of God of War 3? In fact, any God of War game, and it goes on like this for a while.
Sorry for that omission there.
It's basically bosses from start to finish, and it's a damn fine game. Damn fine game. He wrote that twice, I'm not. You get to fight Zeus, King of the Gods. There's a lot of capital letters here, but obviously if I
King of
shouted
the
them all
Gods.
out, I'd be doing a
Yeah.
lot of shouting at the moment. All this, and it's a very interesting plot to boot.
Story.
Wafer thin story. Both boxes ticked. By the way, I didn't like the comment on this episode that Metal Gear Solid was a collection of interesting bosses. Bah! It's possibly as equally as epic as a book or an ocean.
He saved it with that comment.
And damn it, I cried when Snake died in MGS4.
Yeah.
Brackets, although I know he really didn't. Close brackets. This is like the ramblings of a madman.
Yeah,
thus
he
far.
loves it.
It's not
That's
so
what we're
much
here
a question,
for.
is
We're
it?
like a
No, it's
Brighton.
just
synopsis.
It's just a terrifying statement.
I'm
This far.
pretty sure there's a question coming up. It's the most solid story. Brackets, close brackets. Too casual, this letter.
It's made a pun.
I think you could
I
have cut
think
this letter down by about.
Viewer mail
5
needs to be
minutes.
more formal, I think.
Listener mail. We
Yeah,
don't have
listener
any
mail.
viewers.
Not
Or they
yet.
can look at the picture on the album cover.
You'll find on any gaming platform over the 40 years of gaming history we have been blessed with, and if that isn't good enough, I'll send the Space Frogs after Foxy. That's me, and I spoke about how Space Frogs were scary. I'm that serious. All in all, thanks for making my daily commute / life more bearable. Are you hearing this, Dan?
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Please release episode 9 tomorrow latest. 9's out, don't worry about that. 8 out of 10. He's deducted 2 points for the above reasons. So that's enough of the praise out of the way.
The rest of the questions need to be snappy, I think.
What's the actual question this fucking lunatic is trying to get across?
The question is from Mike/Hitler/Mittler. This is from a listener called Chris, Mike.
Sorry.
Being an avid
Chris.
PS3 fan and owner, I am worried because of the PS3's ridiculously complicated cell processor. We are going to stop getting great-looking exclusives in the future as more and more developers become less and less geared (lazy) towards developing games properly for the PS3. We always end up with shitty ports which use up a fraction of the PS3's power and end up looking terrible (fortunately not the case with Crysis 2, although it was apparently a little bit worse than the 360 version. Apparently. And we all know the PS3 is the better console on paper. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really happy we have Naughty Dog on board, and with Uncharted 3 coming out, it's damn exciting to hear rumours they have made it to be even better looking, but it's literally only a handful I can count who are putting in the time to make games that piss all over the Xbox. Frankly, I'm a little miffed. What can you do to quell my anxiety?
Did Mike write that question?
Yours always...
No, I didn't. Who was it? Chris.
Yours always, Chris.
Hi, Chris. Yeah, no, it's a fair point. I mean, they ever since the dawn of the PS3 and the Xbox, it's always been the splotchier ports, never significantly worse, but always noticeably so with the ports, and I think that's going to keep happening. I mean, that's never going to stop because it's just too easy to process to create PC and Xbox together and then port them over. But the important thing is, you're right. Uncharted looks phenomenal. Last Guardian looks phenomenal. Motorsport Apocalypse, for its slight dip in quality of storytelling, looks incredible. And
it's a racing game.
And there are still games people are going to say, they're always going to say, well, we're in this generation that you can't do this on Xbox, and that's true. And there are those games, they're going to keep on coming. Last Guardian is what you're looking for next, and the HD remixes of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus.
I don't think he needs to be too worried though, because it's not as bad as it used to be. This is like a problem
exactly,
that we had 2 years ago. Like it's supposed to like Fallout. Those two compared together were apparently a lot worse.
It does appear occasionally, doesn't it?
It does, and it won't stop, unfortunately. But that doesn't matter because the games are now at least on par. Minimal differences, and
I think this is what makes the PS3 exclusives more special.
Yeah. Absolutely,
because they are more unique and they definitely look.
Yeah.
They definitely
Little
look
Big Planet as well.
better.
I mean, that was just came out. Looking at 2. If you haven't tried that, get on that and
just get one.
Fun.
Just get one for about tenner. You don't need to get 2.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
You do. You got
No,
graphics.
Depends if you like playing online or not.
Which Steve can't. Or anyone at the moment. Double dig. So yeah, just Last Guardian is coming. Infamous 2, phenomenal games. Check them out.
Dan, any thoughts?
No.
Sunglasses are back on though.
Yeah.
Is that like a signal that you don't care about what we're talking about?
Yeah, largely.
Just tell.
I mean, who could possibly care at this point? It's hugely subjective thoughts.
Or
I think this beer tastes okay. What are your thoughts?
well, I was going to say,
It's called a discussion.
are the sunglasses back on because your eyes have rolled into the back of your head because you're a little bit too drunk at 11:42 a.m.?
No.
Okay, good. As long as that's not the case. Are you ready for the second question?
Do it.
Hi, Ready Game Fire. I'm a jaded gamer. Been on the game, man and boy, the oldest game in the world. Which is why Portal 2 is
He messed up the
interesting.
reference. What a fucking idiot.
Brilliant. I thought that when I think I've heard this
Oh
one
my
before.
god.
I don't get it.
It's supposed to be 30 years, man and boy. Hardest game in the world, that is.
I know that, and you know that.
I don't know that.
Which is why Portal 2 is interesting, but hasn't set me on Ready Game Fire. So now you can stop doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't smash your ring down onto my wooden table like that. What's the matter with you?
That made the most noise.
My God. Why is this? I played number 1, but now all I look forward to is Diablo 3. Are all jaded gamers like this? Waiting for that one game a year, not bothered about the frivolities of pretty much every game I've already played millions of times in a new wrapper? Diablo 3 is probably going to be rubbish too. Cheers, David. Now,
the answer to your question, David, is yes. Now immediately fuck off.
I can relate to this guy because I don't get every single game that comes out like a lot of people I know. This is not a slant at anyone. A lot of people just play everything that comes out, and I don't. I wait for the special games.
No, it's a fair way to do it because there is a lot of. I mean, this year I played a lot of very average games and come away feeling a little bit.
Yep.
Meh. And Portal 2, I can tell him now, it's the game that changed it this year, especially.
Do you work for Valve?
Yes.
He wishes.
I wish. Yeah. No. Seriously. I mean, if you're thinking the Portal 2 isn't going to do it, it will.
I'd like to answer his question by asking him a question.
Okay.
why does he care so much? He just
play what
doesn't
you-
matter. Yeah,
play what
Enjoy
you
the
like.
games, yeah.
Just enjoy them when they come out.
Yeah.
Dave,
Enjoy them for what they are.
Dave, you don't need to bow down to what anyone else
No,
says
no,
it
but
should be.
if he could reply in a couple of weeks.
No, Dave, I would just say that it's an age thing as well. We're a lot more easily impressed when we were young, except for Mike, who's become more easily impressed as he
young,
got older.
isn't he?
I regress.
So don't worry about that too much. We're just getting all that closer to death. Question 3.
Question the third.
Hi, Chris, and super special guests. I'm sure he didn't know Dan was going to be on. So that's why
Well, clearly he
that's
does.
a
It says
shame.
super special. That's can you beat that?
We've been hearing a lot of rumour and speculation on Nintendo's upcoming home entertainment system. A few ideas that have been thrown about the interwebs that we've already touched upon.
It's called
See,
the
45
internet.
minutes
The
ago.
internet.
You wouldn't know about that, Dan. You have shunned the internet, haven't you?
I've become reclusive.
So don't comment on. Don't
Yeah,
comment
but
on
I
it.
know it's not called the interweb. That's all I know. If there's one thing I know,
It has, in the last 2 weeks while you've been offline, it has actually
Officially
been an
been
official
renamed.
name
Would you
change.
accept the internet? I like
Rebrand.
That. The internet.
Rebranding, rebooting. He references some of the rumours that we've touched on and some we haven't. Tablet controller. Ridiculous man with your ridiculous mirrored shades on.
I love them.
Still no sun in here.
That's what I say, yeah, indoors.
He talks about tablet controller, no friend codes, more powerful than an Xbox and a PS3, and we can just say it better bloody well be,
Yeah.
because those consoles are 5 to 6 years old
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So
well, I expect something good for the new system would be better network connectivity.
Hell
That
yeah.
must be
over those
a dream,
interwebs.
yeah.
The
Over
internet.
the interweb, hilariously entitled the interweb.
It's the internet.
Why don't people just talk properly?
There's not always time. He's written
It's exactly the same amount of letters.
he's written GTA 5 launch title, etc.
Launch title.
Now this is from Ronnie Kane, a regular listener
Oh, yeah.
and
Hey, Ronnie.
contributor. Ronnie, what do you mean by launch title? What does that mean?
I'm going to guess. He reckons it's a game that's going to launch
At
at
lunch.
lunchtime. Yeah.
Interesting.
Am I alone in thinking that Microsoft's just going to come out soon and announce
Yeah,
an
it's
even
gonna
better,
push it all
bigger
forward, isn't
console? It's going to happen I reckon before the Wii they'll get their one out.
No,
It's Microsoft not
I
gonna
don't
do.
think so. They don't want to. It's going to cost them.
They're going to win, Mike.
Yeah,
at
probably.
any
yeah.
cost. That's what they do. It's going to have Kinect in it. Probably.
Microsoft do specialise at winning.
It would be interesting. I mean, there's going to be the rumour is that it'll be announced at E3, the Wii 2, and then it's a question of when the other two then buckle. 2014 is the last rumoured one.
He goes on to say, obviously we shouldn't take any of this information to heart, but I was wondering, what rumours do you think / want to be true? What does Nintendo's new system need to do differently in order to stay competitive? Are Nintendo making a mistake, refocusing attention on the core market? Brackets, remember the GameCube? Ready, game, answer. And that was from Ronnie Kane. Now, we've actually got some breaking news. This is from IGN. Nintendo have confirmed this console. It's going to be revealed and playable at E3 in June.
Fuck.
In
me.
June, and I'm just going to read out the news article now. Nintendo Japan, this is from IGN.com. Nintendo Japan tonight confirmed it will release a new game console in calendar year 2012.
Canada, yeah.
In Canada year 2012. Good news for Afflis.
Tick that box.
It will be announced and playable at E3 this coming June. Open quotes. We will show a playable model of the new system and announce more specifications at the E3 Expo. Multiple sources have told IGN the console, dubbed Project Cafe. What are you doing?
Just watching some wrestling on my iPod.
Multiple sources have told IGN this console, dubbed Project Cafe, will be significantly more powerful than the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, and will be backwards compatible with current Wii software. The console will also utilise a new tablet-shaped controller. It will have a 6-inch touchscreen display, dual analog sticks, and has the ability to stream content directly from the console.
Those are still the rumours, aren't they?
Well, yes.
How big is this controller going to be?
Yeah, 6 inch.
I think it's going to be big enough for us fat
6 inches,
fat
isn't it?
Westerners.
To mash
Tablets. It's
the
going to be like
keypad.
Like an
So it's gonna
iPhone
be
with,
fucking. How are you
with
going
joysticks.
to waving that shit around?
Well, Ronnie, as you've already heard, we've touched upon this in the second-hand news segment. It is big news, and a nice, more hardcore suited platform, would be nice with less waggle and more out-and-out fun for your
Prettier
buck.
Zelda, Prettier Peach.
New IPs. We need some new IPs, please.
Third-party sport.
When was their last one?
Wii Sports.
Wii Sports. We need something new, and yes, a good storyline for Mike. So everyone,
Get his teeth into
please
it,
just make everyone happy, Dan.
Yeah.
Just Mike down a little bit.
Launch with Metroid.
So Ronnie, you've heard what we want. and now it's up to them to deliver.
Yep.
And I don't think Nintendo need to worry about staying competitive because, they have sold the most units this generation.
Yeah, and if
haven't they?
Nintendo wasn't already a household brand, even now people got Nintendo Wii, they want the next Nintendo.
And all of the other console manufacturers have fallen into line to make dumbed down games for inept losers and grandparents, as I said earlier. So
Nintendo Genii.
I think Nintendo will always just do their own thing, and whether the mainstream lose interest in them again, they'll always have the people who blindly pick up any Zelda Mario game, and I don't think they have to worry about staying afloat.
I think they're all right. Good for them.
We move on to the last question, and I'll aim this at Dan first. This can be Dan's specific question.
I like it.
This is from Lawrence. He opens with question, ready, game, fire. I don't know what that means. If you were stuck on a desert island and a leprechaun appeared with the following two choices, which would you choose? Brackets. Note that choosing neither results in having an everlasting iPod glued to your head that only plays Rebecca Black's hit Friday. Choices. Choice 1. You are provided with food and drink daily, but you have to perform fellatio every 3 hours on a group of herpy-ridden priests wearing Nixon masks and playing kazoos. That's option 1.
Sounds good.
Behind door number 2, you are the third man on a human centipede, but you can be upgraded closer to the front each year.
In 3 years, I would be at the front.
Yeah, of a human centipede.
My suggestion to Larry is
Laz.
that he should stop with the surrealism, because it's largely unfunny. He's trying to be a comedian here. Those are the choices. These aren't realistic choices.
I'd also
They
say
are list of choices, there's 2 of them.
the third choice is most preferable.
Yeah,
There's not
It's
a
just
good
an
actually,
iPod
yeah.
attached to your head. You get used to the song.
Yeah.
It'd be like your soundtrack.
I quite like.
No, I hate that song.
I quite like Friday.
Next,
as well.
hate
you know, and the first choice. There's no place for homophobia in 2011.
Now, Dan,
Herpes, diseases.
Who's to say that I'm not a homosexual and I would love to do that? Perhaps that's my fantasy. I like Nixon. He's got a strong face.
so you're going with
riddled
one.
with phlebitis.
So you're going with option 1, I mean.
No, I'm just saying that he needs to be more open-minded about how people live.
And now, speaking of being open-minded, Dan, perhaps you should be more open-minded regarding this question. You talk about these surrealistic choices, but you once said to me, okay, you can either have it up the arse by a guy and no one will ever find out, or you have to give head to a man on national television.
It's a practical, not surreal.
Look, no, I remember this exact question, and in fact, that didn't come from me. You've misremembered. That came from one of our bosses at the time.
Really?
That came directly from Big Tony.
Oh, really? That was Tony Langan?
Yeah, so that wasn't
That was
me.
Tony Langan, father of
check
3.
twice.
Yeah, so that wasn't my question at all.
Okay.
So as you know, I'm too progressive to even think of something like that. I enjoy all the meats of our cultural stew.
Okay. Speaking of all the meats of our cultural stew, don't we have a mutual acquaintance who slept with a homeless man?
Yeah, we do have that. I said that.
Now,
I
you said I wouldn't be able to segue it in, but that was seamless, no?
Yeah, it was,
You
man.
made
That's
it seem
bulletproof,
less
but-
seamless now.
Yeah. I said I wouldn't bring it up. The story is very short. No, the story is very long, but I'll make it short. We went to see a concert, both got smashed. He woke up next to a tramp with no money left in his wallet and the taste of special brew and semen in his mouth. Now, there's only one logical conclusion that you can bring to that.
He drunk his semen-filled special brew.
Yeah.
That's a horrific story.
That's
It's
horrific.
not the best.
No, not for this early in the
Poor
morning.
tramp.
Poor tramp. he's up financially.
Yeah, but the
And
other
you
guy
know,
gets to go home
he's
for
had
a
a
hot
good
shower.
time.
Yeah.
He's had a good time as well. So.
He gets to go home and eat.
So it was a male tramp.
He drank some of his
Smell
special
tramp.
brew.
It's a male tramp. That's why he woke up with funny taste in
I
his
thought it
mouth
was.
and
I thought it
special
was a
brew.
female homeless
No,
person.
no,
I
it
thought
was
I
a
asked
man,
him.
no, he's a male homeless person.
There you go. It's very exciting.
So the winners of Portal 2 will now be decided as they're drawn out of
They
the
will also
heads.
get a date with a homeless man.
Oh well, no, we can't.
I
Let's
think
not go promising things that we can't
Okay.
deliver.
May I
You
draw
remember
the
who
name?
answered which questions?
May I draw the name, Chris?
Hold on. Yeah, one of the names has got lost in the mechanism. So Dan, would you like to draw a name from the hat?
I'd very much love to do that thing. Let me just get a name here. Chris Fox.
Oh my God! I won the game.
Well, it does sound.
Mr.
C. Fox.
It's ripped from a bit of a letter, and it says Mr. C. Fox on it.
Mr. C. Fox. Oh my God, I don't know what to say.
No, wait, no, it says Dave on it.
Oh, it says Dave on the
No,
back.
yeah.
Oh,
Dave,
right,
well done, Dave.
So Dave Tyler wins the
That was the question that angered
copy
Dan
of
the most. so-
Portal 2.
Yeah.
You've got Dan's anger, but you've also got a Steam copy of
That was
Portal
well
2
done.
to ease your suffering there, Dave. Well done. Thanks for writing in, and yeah, I'll be in touch to your email address with your Steam code. Or however it works, I can't really be sure. So,
That's
if you
Portally. No, I was going to get a really bad joke. No.
if you want to
You were going to
contribute,
make a bad joke?
Yeah, I was.
oh, it is now. I wasn't
Very
prepared.
uncharacteristic.
Portally awesome, but it's kind of like totally, but it just doesn't really
You
work.
did. You followed through with it.
Yeah,
Still going.
You challenged me to it.
There's no challenge.
Didn't you have a rap you wanted
Don't
to do?
challenge him.
I did, yeah.
You want to do a rap?
No.
What's going on?
Can Mike wrap us out? You do the end and then Mike.
Okay,
Can
you,
wrap us out.
instead of
I've only got one line. I've only got one line though.
No.
there'll be no outro music this week. It'll be Mike will wrap us out, and that'll go into a fade down. So yeah, if you want to contribute to future episodes with a chance to win more fabulous prizes in the future, it's readygamefire@gmail.com. Subscribe to us on iTunes and rate us like the lovely people have already done.
Yeah, and got such
we
praise for it.
appreciate their
Stop calling us
ratings.
nerds, everybody.
We appreciate the
feelings.
rates, the reviews. The 5-star reviews have all been very touching. If you rate and review us, we may get featured, which will catapult us to podcastery, fum.
We'll make famous.
Yeah. So send an email to readygamefire@gmail.com. Subscribe on iTunes and follow us on Twitter and Facebook. We're easy to find. You just type in Ready Game Fire. Dan looks a little bit agitated.
No, it's fine. I'm glad it's over.
No Borat this week.
No, Borat. Oh God, we'll try and squeeze in more next
Maybe
week.
yeah, just
Next
Thank
time,
God,
Mike.
thank
cut
God.
out some from the previous episode.
Yeah, just recut it back
Whack it
in.
in there.
Stick in here. So yeah, it's goodbye from me, Chris Fox. Goodbye. It's goodbye from Steve Edwards.
Goodbye.
And Dan Afflis says...
You don't do my goodbye for me. Dan does the goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.
He's still talking in third person. It's mental. Mike says goodbye as well.
Night, night.
Okay. Goodbye. Ready Game Fire.
Ready, game, fire.
Go.
Ready to hire.
Uh,
We only aspire to get higher and higher.